What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. So retro review The Wire, season 3, episode 3. No, episode 4. Season 3, episode 4, Amsterdam. So I know it's been a long time, but we here, y'all. We here. Shouts out to Lil Baby. You've been waiting for this for a long time, girl. So we open up this episode. We're at a community meeting where, of course, they're trying to explain to the residents what it is that they're doing to try to get the drugs out of the city and yada 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 boo da boo da boo. Well, at the end of the day, the residents were basically tearing the police a new one. And they were like, listen, we don't want to hear all of this. Like, y'all keep telling us what we need to do, but we call, we put our lives on the line, we put ourselves out there, and at the end of the day, what ends up happening is the boys are right back on the block the next day. And, one of the residents got up and she started talking about, how she can't even get in her house or whatever. So, Major Cloven gets up there. Now, remember, Major Cloven is over it. Like, he's over it. So he gets up there and he tells them, listen, y'all right? Y'all are absolutely correct. This is basically the status quo now. We cannot stop the drug system. We can't do it. Like, with the tools that we have, with the manpower we have, with the money that we're giving, we can't stop it. And all we can do is ask y'all to help us do the best that we can. But I ain't about to sit here and make y'all no promises. I ain't about to sit here and tell y'all that we're going to create a miracle that ain't going to happen. And then he sits down, like he drops mic and walks off the stage. And of course, the residents appreciate his honesty, but that doesn't make them feel any better, So in the back of the room, we have, remember Lieutenant Daniel's wife. She's running for city council. She is a city council member. That's actually her district. And then we have, Coquetti. Y'all know I'll be messing his name up. We're going to call him Coco. And he's back there. She's like, what you doing over here? This is not your district. And he said, well, I'm on the, public safety committee. So pretty much it's all in my district. And so, she's talking to him. They talking about basically politics shit. What can I do to help you? How can I help you? One hand washes the other kind of situation. Now, we find out later on in the episode that he decides he's going to run for mayor. And he implores the, support of one of his law school buddies who is like a big, political puppeteer down in Washington. And she's like, hell no, I ain't about to help you run for mayor. Like, you can't win. Like, you're not the right color to be mayor of Baltimore. It ain't gonna work. Like, the demographics don't work in your favor. And he was like, yeah, but, with you behind me and with everything going on, and I feel like I can win. Like, I'm confident that I can get in with the right people and get the right support, and I can switch it. I can flip it. And she was like, you ain't got a shot in hell. But like I said, we know where that's getting ready to go. So then we see Kima and McNulty meeting up with Bubs. Now they have employed Bubs to be their snitch, right? They didn't put him on salary and everything, even though he still, be fleecing them for more money. But he didn't, got them on a salary. And they want to find out what's going on because, of course, they kind of no longer, like, know what's going on in the streets. Like, after Barksdale fell, like, they don't know, and then the towers are gone, their go-tos are sort of gone. They're like, what's really going on? Nobody's on the wire anymore because they done got hip to that. And so Bubs is able to give them information on who's where, who's what. He was like, all the Barksdale guys are all pushed onto one block where it really ain't no whole lot of traffic. And he was like, Marlo was basically running the streets now. And they were like, Marlo? Who is Marlo? So he gets them more information. He's able to get them the license tag from Marlo's car. So they're able to run that. And, they do a little research and they find out that Marlo has been a heavy hitter for a minute. Like, he been on the low. He ain't really been out there like that. But he's been a heavy hitter for a minute. And he actually beat a murder charge because, the witness died. So they sort of getting warmer, they sort of catching on and they getting a little bit warmer about what's going on in the streets, right? About who's really running the streets and what's really going on. In the meantime, Bunk is out on the streets. They are still looking for the gun of the police officer that was killed. They still can't find his gun. Bunk is on the street, and he is desperate because, of course, they putting pressure on him to get that gun off the streets because, God forbid, there's a murder that takes place with this cop's stolen gun. Like, that's all they need. And Bunk is, he's striking out. Like, he done got so desperate, he reached out to McNulty and was like, listen, I need Omar. Like, I know if anybody can help me get this gun, it's going to be Omar. And McNulty was like, good luck with that. Because we ain't seen Omar in a minute. So we don't really know where Omar is. But we know that anything dealing with Omar, he as bad as Bubs. It comes with a price. It ain't easy. It ain't easy. The other thing they learned from Bubs is that they're using burners now. Because remember, they went from being on the payphones to beepers to meeting in person. And now, basically, they're getting the burner phones where they're going and they buying these prepaid cells. They're using them until the minutes run out. And then they basically are trashing them. And then, so now, again, all of that is useful information because Bubs, they didn't know. And they were trying to figure out why they couldn't get a line, why they couldn't figure out how they were communicating. But now they're finding out. Well, they're communicating because this is how they're talking to each other. So then we see Cuddy. Now remember, Cuddy is the ex-con that got out of jail that Boxell was going to hook up because he looked out for him while he was in jail. He been trying to go on the straight and narrow, but ain't nothing really going his way. Remember, they gave him a package when he first got out of jail, and they kind of robbed him for his package. He been trying to do legit work. He been doing like landscaping and stuff, but of course, it's back-breaking, it's hot, and he trying to do right. He looked up his childhood sweetheart. She ain't really want nothing to do with him, and I think that he's starting to get really frustrated with the situation. Now, the foreman of his job is a black guy, and he lets him know, he's like, listen, bruh, I used to be out there on them streets too, and I'm telling you now, it's a commitment. He was like, you ain't gonna make no whole lot of money, doing what we doing. He said, I picked you up because I felt like you needed a break, because we know it's a lot of Latino men, but he was like, I picked you up because I knew you needed this. He said, but it ain't easy. It ain't easy work, and it ain't gonna get easier. He said, I used to be out there, I was in them streets. I made good money, but after I went uptown and I came back down, like, I ain't want to go back down that road. And, Cuddy was like, well, does it get any easier? He was like, I ain't gonna say it gets easier, but it definitely gives you a peace of mind. Well, I guess Cuddy don't care about having that peace of mind, because Cuddy got off that truck that day, and he was like, this is not about to be my future. This is not about to be how I'm about to roll for the next however many years of my life. And he called the number that they gave him, which of course ain't no good anymore because it was a burner, and the burner then ran out of minutes. But he eventually rolls up on Slim Charles and Bodie, and Bodie doing what Bodie does best. He over there complaining about why they not taking their corners back. He was like, damn, we took one ass whooping and y'all just, we can't get our corners back. Like, we don't want to fight. Like, we just gonna roll over. And Cuddy, come to find out, Cuddy knew Bodie's brother. He was like, Bodie? He was like, I remember when you was still running around in diapers. Because of course Bodie looking at him like, dude, I don't know you. Like, and Slim Charles is like, y'all need to respect your elders. Like, this is an OG right here. And Bodie's giving him that look like, y'all know Bodie don't have no damn respect, child. Y'all know Bodie don't have no respect. And so anyway, so that's what they were saying. So then they decide they're gonna go ahead and hook him up or whatever. So, but we'll talk more about Cuddy later. So while this is going on, McNulty is still on the hunt to get Idris Elba, child. And that's not the case that they're working on. They're supposed to be trying to work on this other case, and Lester is telling him, listen, bruh, like, all of us, like, we all of us are still wanting to bring him down, but we got another case to work on, and right now we got to do, like, Daniels is our boss, and this is what our boss told us to do, and, like, I know you don't like following protocol, but that's what we need to do, bruh. And, McNulty being his arrogant ass, he basically cusses Lester out. He was like, F you, F Lester. I mean, F Daniels, He was like, and Lester, I never thought you'd be the one talking about, following protocol. Like, how we do, we run. And he was like, listen, you ain't even worth the skin off my knuckles to whoop your ass. But please understand, I'm done with you. Like, that's it. That's all. Like, what you're not gonna do is disrespect me. You're not gonna talk to me crazy. And then he told Kima, he said, and I'm surprised at you because Daniels raised you. You owe Daniels way more than McNulty. Like, we all want Barksdale's people, but this ain't the way to do it. So, and what's funny is both of them are still working on the same case because McNulty's going at it from one direction, and Lester's going at it from, you know how Lester works. He all about getting the paperwork. So he's pulling the permits on the properties that belong to B&B, the company B&B. Well, we come to find out later on that the company is owned by Idris Elba, and it's the same people. So they were still chasing the same person. They just didn't know it, of course. Now while this is going on, Major Cloven is being offered a cushy ass job because he's supposed to be retiring, child, and he's been offered a cushy ass job at working security, being second in command over the whole security down to Johns Hopkins Hospital, which is prominent hospital, and it's in Baltimore, making $80K. Now remember, this is like early 90s, so $80K on top of his full pension from the Baltimore City Police Department. That'd have been a nice little piece of change coming in for him. But he was like, I just don't know if this is what I want to do. Like, I'm just not sure if this is what I really want to do. Child, McNulty's still having problems with his ex-wife because he's behind on his alimony. And she said, well, you signed the agreement. He was like, I can't afford that. He was like, I signed the agreement when I thought me and you was getting back together and it wasn't going to matter. And she was like, well, you signed it. And he said, well, listen, I signed it, but you can't get blood from a turnip, so I don't know what you want me to do. McNulty's an asshole, okay? Now, back down to the precinct, Major Cloven is telling his people, listen, round up the corner boys, tell them that this piece of property is basically is the amnesty area. Tell them they need to get off them corners. They need to go down to where those abandoned buildings are, and they can sell as much drugs as they want. But if they outside of that perimeter, I'm going to get them. And that's it. That's all. So, of course, the guys... Now, Cuddy, he started to roll hard. Now, they're using his knowledge of old school. They're trying to sit there and figure out one of the dudes that has been coming up short, but they trying to figure out what he doing with the money because they see that he grinding. Well, Cuddy was like, well, what his girl looking like? And they were like, oh, she go to the high school. He was like, well, what's she looking like? She iced out. She got stuff that's expensive because if that's, if y'all go catch her and see what she got going on, then you see what he's spending his money, and then you got what you need to basically justify whatever. So they end up giving him a gun, and later on we see they having his welcome home party, and they about to go out and do some work, okay? They getting high, they drinking, they done got him some girls to get him all, so basically they were like, welcome home, like he home for real now, and I was like, And that's pretty much the episode. Normally my Wire reviews are longer than this. I hope I didn't leave too much stuff out. But anyway, that's it. Y'all let me know what y'all think, and I will definitely get y'all the next review faster than I got y'all this one. Okay? Talk to y'all later. Peace.